Well, you know, the whole cleanup is suspect and politically charged. We already know that. The only reason why come they out here, you know, is to take people's property.
It's a Wednesday on Skid Row in Los Angeles. Activist Steve Richardson is alerting the homeless that the Sanitation Department and LAPD will be coming through for street cleanings. The city calls it Operation Healthy Streets, an effort to prevent public health outbreaks in homeless encampments. But for the homeless, the daily sweeps can also mean having what few possessions they own taken, setting them back even further.
They call it Operation Healthy Streets, but we've changed it to Operation Healthy Sweeps because all they've been doing is, under the guise of cleaning the streets, stealing people's property.
Hi guys.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. So they're gonna spot clean today at the request of the mayor.
Request of the mayor?
At the request of the mayor. We're just gonna clean down San Pedro. They're gonna go through and ask anybody if they don't want trash to throw it in the street.
He said at the request of the mayor, we're gonna clean the sidewalk. Ain't that something?
That's it. He's pulling strings.
Pulling strings to have people's property thrown away.
Skid Row has long been synonymous with homelessness in America. But today, homeless encampments in Los Angeles have sprouted up across the city, from Hollywood to neighborhoods like Echo Park to South L.A. And unlike in most major cities where the vast majority of the homeless live in shelters, in L.A., the majority of homeless live on the streets, in plain sight, in vehicles, tents, makeshift encampments, with nowhere to go. Lieutenant Howard Wong of L.A.'s Sanitation Department works with teams of inspectors who deal with the homeless and public health hazards.
Types of health hazards out here can be biological, chemical.
He took us to see what he encounters on a regular basis.
Abandoned urine containers, biological waste such as feces or sewage located on the public areas, the sidewalks, the parks, on the beach. We have been receiving more requests to conduct homeless cleanups, but our resources are stretched thin.
Lieutenant Wong says the department can have 10 to 13 teams a day conducting operations like this across the city.
We typically try to close off an area to identify the health hazards first, store the items that are clean, and dispose of the items that are dirty.
I'm gonna go tell Kutra.
Okay. It's a tough task for us to deal with. I mean, there's homeless, we're going through personal property.
I'm trying to work with you, okay?
Sir, you got it. Eventually, you're going to have to listen to what she's saying, okay? I really, really don't want to have to put you in handcuffs. We really don't like to do that.
This has the things that I need to prepare the food.
I want you to keep your perishable food. That's what I'm more worried about.
Look, what you're worried about is different than what I'm worried about, ma'am. To be frank with you.
You can fill your bag up, or we can put you in handcuffs and just sit you on the sidewalk.
Sorry,
We
sir,
really
I'm
don't want to do
get
that.
the paintbrushes out of there, that's all.
Just
You
look
want
at
me
me.
to stop doing anything and look at you and listen for 2 seconds?
Just 2 seconds. And I think you need to take your jacket off.
I'm hot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm really pissed off, too.
I know you
I
are.
just want to kick you in the face.
I hear
I'm not
that.
trying to disrespect you, sir, but that's how I'm feeling right now.
I totally get it.
It's not you personally. It's the whole fucking thing.
There are daily interactions like this playing out as the homeless population in LA has spiked. In 2012, it was roughly 36,000. This year, it's 53,000.
I buy those things. I keep the receipts in my pocket. And you guys come by and keep taking my stuff. Now I had to breathe for 4 or 5 nights in the rain with you guys taking my stuff.
In recent years, the city and homeless advocates have battled over the responsibilities of the police and sanitation departments and the rights of the homeless. Homeless advocates have argued that the police go too far by taking and destroying personal property. And in 2012, the courts agreed. As a result, in L.A., the homeless are allowed to keep up to 60 gallons of their own belongings. Anything more, the city has to bag, tag, and store in a sanitation facility on Skid Row called the Bin.
So this is the Bin right here. This is the city's only homeless storage facility. And so no matter where you at around the city, whether you're in Hollywood, whether you're in Venice, whether you're in South Central, San Pedro, if the cops confiscate your property on the streets, it's packed out and it's delivered right here.
Critics say the Bin is really only practical for those who live on Skid Row. It's a 5-hour walk for the homeless on Venice Beach, a 90-minute ride by bus or bike. Anything not claimed within 90 days is destroyed.
The strategy, they believe, is that if you go routinely and make individuals pick all of their stuff up, maybe, just maybe, people will get tired of moving their stuff and leave the area, right? It's psychological, right? It is purely psychological.
Homeless advocate Pete White says the sweeps are not really aimed at cleaning the streets. Additionally, White says the practice of ticketing by police has made being homeless practically a criminal offense.
It is impossible to evade tickets based on the ways the laws are structured. It's impossible not to get a ticket for 4118D, which is no sitting, sleeping, or lying down on a sidewalk, because you got to sit down at some point, right? So you're always, always, always vulnerable.
We're so worried about the police harassing us and telling us that we can't be in a certain spot, it gets kind of hard and difficult to survive.
Michael Spearman lives on the streets of Venice and has been ticketed 5 times in the last year. 4 for blocking the sidewalk and 1 for not having a tag on his dog.
They come and write tickets like, got stuff tied to the fence, or, you have a structure up like this, they'll write you a ticket for it. I feel like I'm trapped. I feel like, I'm always looking behind my back, wondering if they're gonna come and, start harassing me. It doesn't feel good.
They're in control of our freedom, so they can do whatever they want, and it sucks because they do. I don't know, if they had a night last night, the next morning they'll just go arrest a bunch of people because they have warrants or whatever it is.
They want to get rid of us, but the homeless don't have anywhere to go.
Earlier this year, the LAPD found that most of their homeless citations go unpaid, leading to arrest warrants, jail time, and additional fees. LAPD Chief of Police Michael Moore has said these warrants clog up the system.
Sam Lincoln 35, show me code 6, the San Julian corridor between 5th and 7th, until further.
Officer Dion Joseph has been working on Skid Row for 20 years and has seen it grow from only a few blocks to more than 50.
There's nothing we can do. All we can do is do the weekly cleanings at certain streets. That's the only thing stopping it from turning into a giant petri dish, is these street cleanings. If there's any saving grace, that's it.
Police respond to multiple reports of violent crimes on Skid Row daily.
Right here at San Julian Park, I got a call the other day that there was a tent set on fire. I haven't verified it yet, so. Did you see him burn your tent down?
And him and with a bird call, I go file a report, I come back, my tent was
So you did file a report?
Yeah.
Okay. Sam Lincoln 35, one additional unit. I'm inside of San Julian Park. Sir, do you have your ID on you or anything like that?
No, so I give you my name and my social, everything. So it's fine, you're dirty, I ain't did nothing.
I'm not saying you're dirty or anything. I'm not saying you're dirty or anything, okay?
Yeah.
Listen, do you have any weapons on you or anything like that?
No,
just relax, turn around. Let me check you for weapons here. Just relax, I'm not gonna hurt you, I promise.
I'm going to jail.
No, we're gonna investigate, just gonna investigate, okay? Hell, this might be a bunch of bullshit, we don't know. But I gotta investigate it, okay? Just relax, and we'll get everybody's side of the story, and we'll talk. Matter of fact, we'll see if there's any witnesses or anything. We'll help you out, okay?
Officer Joseph says criminal activity in the encampments is putting people in danger.
The gangsters have completely taken control of pretty much every block. They are now taxing the homeless just to sleep on the sidewalk. We're pulling out high-powered weapons from tents. We're pulling out swords. We're pulling out handguns and ounces and ounces of meth, cocaine, and heroin.
In the city's latest budget, the amount allocated to homelessness more than doubled to $430 million. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti has made homelessness a key focus of his administration.
We are pursuing something in which we try to get services to folks while also knowing that there's public health and right-of-way issues. We still have to continue cleaning the streets. Everybody expects that. But it is the most complicated public policy issue one will ever tackle. There's no issue I care more about, and I think probably everybody in this room cares more about an issue of homelessness in Los Angeles. So for 7 minutes, I want to walk you through a couple things. And please, folks, again, I'll keep saying it, but I think respectfulness is the most important part of our democracy, and that is making sure that we can do it.
At a recent town hall in Venice, residents pushed back against emergency shelters. Many want to see the homeless housed, just not next door.
Why are we wasting all this money for 150 temporary shelter beds when we can take that same amount of money and put it somewhere else so we would actually get these people the homes they so desperately need?
What if you activate the Army Corps of Engineers? You go to Dockweiler Beach, which is a central area away from everybody's
criminal, bike-stealing meth addict. It's kind of almost like a vacation. I mean, it's very nice.
They're not from Venice.
We're at capacity.
And there's going to be more of them coming here if you put up this Ritz-Carlton by the beach.
Everybody is upset by the homelessness crisis, but a lot of folks are actually more upset by solutions to the homelessness crisis.
Mike Bonin represents Venice in the Los Angeles City Council. He's been an outspoken advocate for housing the homeless.
The fact of the matter is, if your concern is encampments and the problems associated with them, we have to do something other than the status quo. Right now, in almost every neighborhood in Venice, near our schools and on our way to schools, there are people living on the sidewalks and encampments. The question is, do we want them living on the sidewalks in encampments without services, or do we want to move them indoors with services and put them on a path to housing?
In the past 2 years, Angelenos have voted twice to raise their own taxes to fund programs to help the homeless and help finance the construction of 10,000 units of permanent supportive housing. But progress has been slow. The first units aren't scheduled to open until October 2019. And they're falling short of their projected goal as well. City officials now estimate they'll run out of money after they build only 6,000 units, 40% less than their original plan.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel.
Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.